Hello, everyone. Amanda Williams, MD, MPH, and I'm here today because I want to talk to you about a really good 1-2 punch when it comes to targeting inflammation in the body. And we know that chronic inflammation can lead to significant issues and it can exacerbate current conditions, and sometimes it's really hard to get control over an inflammatory process that's going on in the body. So we can think about just basic things like arthritis, for example. Oftentimes people deal with this year after year after year, and maybe you're always turning to NSAIDs, for example, your ibuprofens, things along that line. And you have to think what's happening with the long term use of using something like ibuprofen. Well, we always have to have our concerns for kidney health. When we're utilizing other things like acetaminophen, then we have concerns for liver health. So, what if we look at things that come from nature? And we can look at boswellia extract, and we can also look at curcumin or curcumin. So, it just depends on how you want to say it. But we have a fabulous formulation, and it is our Bio-Curcumin and 5-loxin formulation. Now, this is these two nutrients that are combined together. Now, I just want to let you know that both of these nutrients have been studied extensively when it comes to human clinical trials, which is really important because it shows their efficacy. They are registered trademark forms. So the biocurcumin that we use is known as BCM 95. And this is important because we know something about BCM 95 in that it is shown to be up to 7 times more bioavailable and better absorbed than a traditional curcumin extract. And we look at a lot of the scientific studies and we can see that even a standard curcumin extract oftentimes is yielding a wealth of health benefits. But now, when we take it to this next level, we're using the BCM 95. Now we are really getting a good amount of those curcuminoids, it's those oils. So when we think about turmeric, the root itself, deep inside of that root, is where you find the curcuminoids. So where we're actually sourcing that BCM 95 is deep inside of that turmeric root. And it really provides a powerful, powerful amount of this active constituencies, powerful curcuminoids. Now, being that it's plant based, we also know that it's going to, of course, be providing us with antioxidants. And anytime we can heighten our antioxidants, the better we can do with fending off oxidative stress. Now, point to be noted, oxidative stress damages your joints. So sometimes we just think in the realm of inflammation, but we know that oxidative stress damages your bones, it damages everything, blood vessels, you name it, oxidative stress does a number on it. So by having two of these natural sources, both of which are giving us antioxidants, this is why this is this 1-2 punch when it comes to targeting inflammation. Now we can look at 5-loxin. The 5-loxin, once again, is a registered trademark form of boswellia extract. Some people call it Indian frankincense, but boswellia extract has been shown to be incredibly powerful when it comes to targeting inflammation. So both the curcumin and the boswellia extract target the LOX pathway, which is the lipoxygenase pathway, along with the COX-1 and the COX-2 pathways. So the more we can target all of these different ways in which cytokines, these inflammatory cytokines, can be released in the body, the better off we are doing for ourselves when it comes to very focused, very specific inflammatory response. So this is why when you combine the two nutrients together, you are just really at this whole nother level. So now if you look at individual clinical trials utilizing the 5-loxin formulation, we can look at arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis. We can certainly look at issues with GI health when people think about irritable bowel disease. Sometimes we forget that our gut plays a huge role in that inflammatory response. We can also look at the respiratory system, and we recognize that boswellia is incredibly supportive. It just really has a nice way to potentiate its benefits within the respiratory bronchi and into the lungs. So even for people who deal with seasonal issues with, say, asthma, and maybe it's induced because of pollens in the air, having boswellia on board, very, very beneficial because what we're trying to do is we're trying to ease that inflammation throughout the airways. And we know that the 5-loxin has been shown in clinical trials to actually be able to do this. Now we can look at the BCM95, the Bio-Curcumin that we're using. And this has just been studied across the spectrum for so many different health concerns. We can look at it in the setting of insulin resistance. We see how boswellia and curcumin both have an ability to help to support insulin sensitivity and fend off insulin resistance. So even when we're thinking about blood sugar, many times people look at our biocurcumin and 5-loxin formulation, they think, oh, it's because I have a lot of inflammation in my knee, and so this is the best product for me. Definitely, very good choice. But just think of all of the other benefits that you're getting along with that. Think about the benefits to your GI tract. Like I said, many times people don't think about maybe if you do have irritable bowel, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, that having these powerful nutrients on board to help to target and ease inflammation throughout the GI tract, very beneficial. And being that they're plant based, they really do a wonderful job in terms of working synergistically together with our microbiome. So we think about all of the bacteria within the intestines, they play nice with those bacteria, which is important because we always want to be doing things that's creating multiple benefits. So when you take an NSAID, for example, all we're doing is we're just targeting that inflammation, but at the same time, we're creating other problems. When we're using biocurcumin and 5-loxin, we're not only targeting the inflammation, but we're creating all of these other benefits. We're supporting the brain, for example. We've seen studies with the BCM95 showing its benefit for targeting inflammation even within the brain. When we think about cardiovascular health, inflammation within the vascular system, we see all of the ways in which these nutrients work together and are very powerful together to not only ease inflammation, but to also fend off oxidative stress brought on by free radicals. So I definitely encourage you to go to our website, check out the biocurcumin and 5-loxin formulation. There are so many clinical research studies done on these two nutrients individually, and then when we combine them together, it's just really a power punch. So I will be back with you in a few more days to talk about more wonderful nutrients available at InVite Health. Thank you.